I'm Myke Shrews.
And I'm Tivis.
And you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
Episode 52. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters. Oh, geez. I had something in my throat right when I said and. I am, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell us all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Awesome. Sounds great. With that said, guys, real quick, we're going to shill really fast today. None of this 6-minute stuff. You can find the MUNSTERCAST on all social media platforms via the MUNSTERCAST, at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, all at the MUNSTERCAST. You can also find us on YouTube via youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. There you get to see our pretty ugly faces and all the weird things that happen in our backgrounds. I can't talk today. You can also email us at TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. There you can email us your Munster stories. Let us know why you love the Munsters, everything like that. Or if you want to come onto the show, let us know right then and there. You can also go to TheMunsterCast.com and check out all of our content there. We're talking reviews, written review things, written articles, a little short bios on me and Tivis, if Tivis ever writes his. And you can also check out all of our video content, all of our audio content, and go and find our merch store. It is also at themunstercast.com/merch. But if you also go to the MUNSTERCAST website, you can also click on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a little mic icon there. You can leave us a short audio message and we can play it on the podcast if you would like. That way we can share the Munsters' love for the fandom of everybody out there. Then finally, the last thing. Wow, I really went fast today. Patreon.com/TheMunsterCast. Basically, as Tivis says every week, this is a tip jar. It's nothing special, nothing like extra video content, anything like that. The only thing that you really get bonus with it is you get access to the Discord, where we are hoping to grow the Munster community in there. Where we have things set up in there to do like fanfic of the Munsters, your favorite storylines of the Munsters that you've seen so far, or storylines that you would love to see happen, not necessarily even fanfic, just like, hey, I would like to see this, and this, and where we can all communicate and come together as a Munster fandom and just talk about everything Munsters related there. And as a bonus too, on their Discord, we are uploading Discord. We are uploading some of the videos as we go along weekly with the Munsters Today. Therefore, that way you guys can find it there and find it in one spot and everything and watch along with us. So we're all connected in a way. So
yeah, it's the easiest way for us to not get in trouble with Universal.
Yeah. We can't put it on YouTube, can't do any of that stuff. So we're just putting it right there in the Discord. It's linked out from Dropbox and everything, so you guys can watch it there and not have to worry about any other crap for it. So
yeah, most importantly, leave a review on whatever podcatcher you use if they allow that, and tell a friend. All that stuff helps the show grow and get better way faster.
Definitely does. Same with comments on YouTube and Facebook, all that stuff. It helps the posts, it helps the algorithms. Everybody knows all that crap. So by now it's a broken record of the algorithm stuff. So yeah, just leave us comments and let us know what you think of the show and stuff. Let us know how we're doing. If you think that we should do anything different, if you want to see us do any content that's different and stuff like that, because we are doing on the YouTube channel. If you guys go to it at youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast, you can find video content only stuff that we have posted on there. Some of it's like old school, like Munster stuff or Munsters adjacent stuff that we found. We also did a commentary over the first Frankenstein film. So go and check that one out if you have not done so. And if you like that, let us know, because we plan on doing some more stuff like that. So definitely look at that. All right, under the mark. All right, so do we want to dive into the Tivis?
What are we talking about today, Myke?
I I am so like flabbergasted about everything else I just said that I don't even remember.
I'll put it on screen for you.
We're talking about the Munsters. The Munsters today, episode 3, Flyweight Champion of the World, October released or aired, I should say, October 22nd, 1988. And I did not end up writing a synopsis for this one. But I can pretty much do one off the cuff if you guys want.
Go for
it. The synopsis for this episode, basically, Eddie is getting bullied again. Another a bully episode, which I mean makes sense. It's 20 years later. We need to update it and everything. Eddie is getting bullied again in school, and Grandpa, of course, wants to teach Eddie how to handle the bully. And Dad and Mom are like, yeah, no, let's not do that.
Whereas last time Herman was a little in on it.
That's a horrible synopsis, by the way, but that's what I'm going with. Yeah, so where do we want to start with this one? You got information on this, the cast and everything, correct?
Yep, it was written by Brian Joseph, who has 13 projects that he wrote for. This is going to be the first of 8 episodes that he works on with this show, and this is the last thing he worked on as a writer. Okay. He also produced 10 of these episodes. 8 this season, and 2 he comes back in season 3. This isn't one of them that he produced, though.
Okay.
Previously, he was an executive story editor for season 4 of Happy Days. He also previously worked on Adam 12, Operation Petticoat, The Jeffersons, Too Close for Comfort, and Three's Company, to name a few. So, you know, he's got a 10-year career in sitcoms. And it was directed by Bob Claver. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is going to be the first of 4 episodes that this guy directs. He's got 17 producer credits, 44 director, and 2 writing. He is a co-creator of Captain Kangaroo.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that would interest you.
Yeah.
Other projects that he has directed include The Farmer's Daughter, which he was part of the 2nd and 3rd season of that. 7 episodes of The Partridge Family. Welcome Back, Kotter. He was in part of season 3. 15 episodes of Mork and Mindy. He was there for season 4. All 21 episodes of Gloria, because that show only lasted 1 season. 25 episodes of Small Wonder. 10 episodes of the new Leave It to Beaver. People say reboots are a thing we can't get away from now. Look at the 80s. Like every 60s show came back. It's a cycle, people.
Yeah. No, the whole like reboot stuff is nothing new. We've seen, especially as a horror fan, I've seen reboots and requels and prequels and you know, sequels and what was that other one where they retcons are a massive thing in the horror industry, dude. Like especially those slasher films from the 80s.
As a comic lover, I'm no stranger to retcons. He also did 25 episodes of Small Wonder, 10 episodes. Oh, I already said this stuff. 11 episodes of Charles in Charge, and all 62 episodes of Out of This World. Some other stuff that he only did like a couple episodes for are the Bob Newhart Show, The Love Boat, The Dukes of Hazzard, Facts of Life, Webster, and 1 episode of Auto Man, which is a show I've never heard of, and I'm going to send you the link for you to check out, but it only had 1 episode, and it's about a computer-generated superhero and his human creator fight crime in a city.
Okay.
So I'm going to have
I'll watch that.
Yeah. The cast this week, they only have 2 listed. Unfortunately, a lot of this show's supporting cast are not as well documented as the original show. So we have Daniel Riordan. I hope I spelled that correctly. I'm going to check that real quick.
Riordan. Yeah.
So Don't look at his stuff. So he played Rondon in an episode of Next Generation the same year as this episode. Oh, he played Headlock Henderson, by the way, in this episode. I forgot to mention that.
Yes.
He was first guard in an episode of Deep Space Nine. Stan in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Cyborg Sam in Weird Science. I'm sorry about that. Turbo Man in Jingle All the Way.
Yes, the actual Turbo Man show that he's watching. Yeah.
And he also wrote Turbo Man Behind the Mask in 2007.
Another thing that they should do, like Galaxy Quest, as everyone wants them to make an actual Galaxy Quest show. They should do that with Turbo Man too. I think Disney owns all of it now, so let them do it.
I don't know if they own Galaxy Quest. Last I heard, Amazon was working on that.
Oh, okay.
So that may have been part of the MGM purchase. Possibly,
yeah.
Let's see. He was also Judd on Team Knight Rider, another show that came back. Northmere in The Pavilion, which is a movie from 2000 that he also wrote the screenplay for. He voiced Megatron in Robots in Disguise. He was on an episode of Enterprise, and he's had a long and prosperous career as a voice actor in cartoons, games, and even the main villain of Scooby-Doo, the Mystery Begins TV movie. If I were to list every game I played with this guy in it, we'd spend our entire hour talking about that stuff. So I'm just going to say, go check it out. The other person that I have that was in this is Clint Carmichael, who went uncredited as a fellow weightlifter. He's done stunts for Naked Gun, 33 1/3, The Final Insult, American Horror Story, and the newest season of Reno 911. He was a stunt coordinator on Time Under Fire. He's appeared in things like The A-Team, Magnum PI, The Next Generation Voyager, the pilot for Star Trek Renegades, which you probably know more about than I do.
That's a game. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. It said pilot, so I assumed it was a web series.
Well, I know there's a game that's Star Trek Renegades. Maybe there's. Oh no, it's it's a fan film. That's that one, yeah. But there is a game of Star Trek Renegades as well.
All right, and he's also going to be appearing in an upcoming criminal show called Stripped, where he plays a lawyer. So I wanted to throw that in there to let people know he's still acting.
Okay.
So yeah, that's all I got for creative.
Okay, sweet. Then let's dive on into this. And real quick, I'm just going to read the synopsis that I did find online. All it says is a bully is picking on Eddie while at school, so Grandpa makes a potion to make Eddie a weightlifter.
It's basically what you said.
Yeah, basically.
So we open with the opener, classic. Not the classic open, just I think that's how this is always going to start. So
We're
I'm
the
start
monsters.
skipping that from this episode on.
We're the monsters.
Lily shows them. Lily is showing them advertisements for a vacation spot in Alaska. Fabulous land of the midnight sun. Grandpa likes the idea of the sun not ruining his late night picnics. Herman, however, has a suggestion that they go to Egypt to see the pyramids. Grandpa says no, way too crowded. Every mummy he knows spends their vacation there. It's at this point that Eddie comes in, skipping past them, hiding something behind his back. Lily asks him why he isn't at school, and he says he forgot his lunch. And Lily's like, no. I swear you took it with you this morning. Herman tells him to get back to school and stop playing hockey. Lily corrects him, and Eddie tells him that he is never going back again. Again.
Yeah.
His lunch bag is revealed to be what's behind his back, and it's see-through, and it is full of what appears to be raw meat to me. Lily's shocked to see his lunchbox destroyed.
Yeah. It's like squished down too and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was a bag at first, because it was all like mangled and stuff. But
yeah.
She's like, what the hell happened here? And Eddie's like, well, a kid named Butch Henderson took it, ate his lunch, and they got really mad when he realized what it was.
I love how the new Eddie's being picked on by a guy named Butch. Just we're gonna point that out real quick.
Yeah. I'm real sad we don't have who plays Butch, by the way, even though he only appears later on for a brief couple
Yeah.
minutes. Uh,
They ask who the kid was or whatnot, or why didn't he tell? That's what they say.
yeah,
And he's like, I may be a howler, but I'm not a squealer.
yeah. Yeah, Grandpa wants to know if he punched Butch in the nose, and Lily says he shouldn't be punched. However, he should be reprimanded. Herman
Mm.
says they should talk to him too. No, Herman. Grandpa just rolls his eyes and says Eddie should bop the bozo in the beak. Which I love that line. Lily's
They basically want them to talk it through, like
yeah.
put their heads together and get over the issues.
Yeah, that's what she's like. Yeah, put your heads together and talk. And Eddie reluctantly agrees, and Grandpa looks like he's scheming right there.
It's funny. Oh, go on. You can continue.
All right,
My notes are scattered this week.
Lily and Herman are trying on hats with nets in case they decide to vacation in Africa. Herman asks why they have nets, and Lily explains it's for the mosquitoes. Herman loves this. He wouldn't want those critters to get away.
Yeah.
Misunderstanding what the net is for, but that's fine. Clearly their plot this episode is going to be where are we vacationing because they did away with the weird box ritual that Herman always won anyway.
Yeah.
So Eddie comes running in holding his face this time. He's got a black eye from Butch. Eddie's like, I tried to talk to him for a whole hour, but that only made him want to beat me up more. Butch put Eddie's head together. Lily's like, I thought you were supposed to put your heads together. And Eddie's like, yeah, Butch put my head together with my fist.
With his fist.
Oh, with his fist, sorry.
Yeah. Yep.
It'd be funnier if he was like, why are you hitting yourself?
So she runs out, grabs like a steak. She says it's some
wildebeest steak or something.
Yeah, wildebeest. Yeah, something like that. And then eventually Eddie ends up going down to Grandpa's lab.
Yeah, where he's giving the skeleton a manicure, I'll add.
Yeah. And the first thing Eddie says is, "Hey, Grandpa, look what happened when we put our heads together." Such a smart ass.
Yeah.
This is where Grandpa is like, "Well, it looks like you haven't, your parents' plan isn't working. So plan A is scrapped. So now it's time for plan G."
What is plan G?
Plan Grandpa.
And then he begins whipping up a potion, asking how Eddie would like to have his strength how would Eddie like to have a strength of 12 men? Eddie responds by saying 6 Rambos and 6 Arnold Schwarzeneggers.
Yeah.
Grandpa fetches some images to shred into the potion because, sure, why not? He's thrown a shoe in there before.
How magic works, sir. You just print out a paper and then you shred it into the potion.
Yeah, he sees Woody Allen and throws that out instantly. But however, King Kong is in the pile and he's like, oh, yeah. And at this point, I'm like, oh, God, are we going to get another Harry Eddie here? But so Grandpa
that
says
could be a TV show, Harry Eddie.
He hasn't done this since he turned Ivan the Nice into Ivan the Terrible. He then takes a turkey baster and puts nothing on Eddie's arm sleeves. Like the thing is clearly not full of anything, and his shirt doesn't get wet. So I don't know what's going on here, but sure.
Yeah.
Eddie says he doesn't feel any different. And Grandpa's like, no, that's part of the process. You're not going to feel different. You're not going to look different. And Eddie's like, oh, I can't wait to tie Butch's ears into a knot. And Grandpa's like, oh, well, hey, you only got a week. And he's like, oh, this is going to be a great week, and howls. Grandpa also lets him know, hey, don't mention this to your parents. And Eddie's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm going to go beat some kids up.
Pretty much. That basically what he did in the throwback. It's a throwback to basically Herman's peace offensive right here, this whole episode. Just kind of cool. But I kind of want to get away from like comparing it into that show, honestly, because it's become its own show by now. For sure.
Oh yeah. referencing continuity stuff because
Oh
I mean
yeah,
this is
yeah.
supposed to be a continuation. So,
But it's not though. It's a multiverse. The Munsterverse, sir.
technically, that didn't get created for a while more when
So
they reboot the story.
what I think happened is there is a universe in which the Munsters actually woke up 20 minutes later. And then this universe is the one where it's split right there when they went into the time capsules.
I'll accept that
Boom.
headcanon.
Yeah.
Listeners, let us know what you think.
Or not even 20 minutes. They didn't even get to sleep 20 minutes in that one because the machine completely malfunctioned, and then Herman just bitches at Grandpa about how he wastes his time making stupid, dumb inventions. And then Grandpa sits there and ponders what happened, and then it turns out it was all Herman's fault because he like sat some bat's milk next to the machine beforehand.
Well, speaking of Herman, we now get a shot of him in a sombrero.
Sorry, I got to make up an excuse for the differences. Come on now.
So they're talking about going to Mexico now, and this is the first appearance of the doorbell that we were informed would be in this show. Now, I can't remember, is this doorbell originally from Mini Munsters or that audio thing that you posted on YouTube?
I want to say the audio was before Mini Munsters.
I couldn't remember which one it was from though.
I believe it's the audio.
I thought so, but I wasn't 100%. So,
Yeah.
so I guess that's going to be a regular thing in this show. Which, so far we haven't got anything outside the house, so I'm really hoping we get that eventually down the line.
What do you think about the doorbell thing?
It's it's what, the funeral march.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all right. It kind of makes me think more Addams Family than Munsters, but
Which one was it that we watched that had a face in the door?
that was the Christmas movie.
One.
Yeah,
Okay.
from '98, I think.
I was starting to wonder if that was like another movie I watched and I was like losing it.
It has been done in a lot of things, but no, that was the Christmas one because the carolers.
Anyway.
In walks a full-grown man called Headlock Henderson. The owl bat thing next to the door says who, and he begins talking about his accolades in wrestling and weightlifting and synchronized swimming.
It very well reminds me of the Viking from Ghosts and stuff.
A little bit, yeah, Thorson.
Yeah, Thorson. So
yeah. And so as he comes in, Spot says hello. Headlock turns around, he's like, oh, cool. This dude isn't phased by anything. So he then gets introduced to Herman, to which
what happens when you take steroids.
Like, oh, whoa, what's your wrestling name? And I know it's been quite a few years since Herman wrestled, but he seems to have forgotten
it. This is where Herman's like, well, I don't like to hurt anybody, basically. And the dude's like, who said anything about hurting anybody? I was talking about wrestling on TV. I heard that. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah.
And then I remembered it was the 80s. So
that this is when that started to come out, that it was choreographed.
Staged. We will say staged.
Choreographed
is a better word. Yeah, you're right.
Well, I guess it is, because they do come up with stuff on the fly, so it isn't completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, staged makes more sense. But he also gives some suggestions for what Herman's
hurt themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, they do. Oh man, those people put their bodies on the line to put on a show for people. They put their lives on the line, honestly. So Headlock gives some suggestions for what Herman's name could be. The Sad Green Giant, Iron Neck Munster, and Jalapeno Herman. When he mentions, I'm talking about TV wrestling, Herman and Lily look at each other like, oh yeah.
I wonder if they said Jalapeno Herman because he was already wearing like the sombrero and stuff like that. It was supposed to be like a jab, like a Mexican joke. Did you get that?
I mean, I guess I don't.
He's wearing the sombrero and the What else is he wearing?
I don't
I'm
know
trying
what
to
it's
remember the
called, so I
full
can't help
picture.
you.
The full picture. This is sad because my wife's Mexican. I should know all these things. She's literally in Mexico as I'm speaking.
Yeah. Just a reminder while he's looking this up, Herman's wrestling career came to an end when Grandpa burned the whole building down with his asshole magic.
Yeah. The fuck? Poncho. It's a poncho. Why didn't I remember poncho?
Oh my God, I know that.
Why didn't I not remember the word poncho?
We are, you know what? Anyone making fun of us for this one, we deserve it.
It's too early, man.
It is very early.
All right, go on. Continue.
So they ask why Headlock is there, and he's like, "Well, I wanted to meet the powerhouse kid of theirs who knocked the stuffing out of my kid brother Butch." Billy's confused. Isn't he the one beating up Eddie? Headlock's, yeah, sure at first, but then Eddie came back and knocked his brother onto the school roof.
Yeah.
And then three of
he
Butch's
threw him on the
pals.
school roof. He didn't knock him. He threw him on the roof. And this is so funny. This is something I would do if it was like my kid was being a bully.
Yeah.
And I thought these were kids, but apparently it's his brother. It's his kid brother. And he's just like, well, I want to thank him. They're like, wait, what? You want to thank him?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. He's my brother's a little bully. He needs to be put in his place, basically.
Yeah, maybe this will stop him from doing it again. And
Which is actually really good. Like,
I was gonna say, my view of this guy from the moment he walked in till now has completely done a 180.
Yeah. At first it was like Gaston, and then he turned into like, whatever the reverses of Gaston.
Helping teach a lesson. He's like, look, could you just give Eddie my thing? Or he's like, he goes, I'll go get Eddie for you. He's upstairs doing his schoolwork. He said, no, I don't want to interrupt his studies. Just tell him thank you from me. And here's some tickets to my next competition. And Herman's like, okay, here's my card in case you need someone buried.
Yeah, he's like, if you have a friend that needs a burial, have them call me. And then he's like, we have an early bird special for burials before 6. The stupid things I write down for my notes.
But after Headlock leaves, they both turn to shout up the stairs. Eddie? Eddie comes running down, and Lily's like, did you knock a kid onto the roof of the school? And he's like, right back up the stairs.
Yeah, he's trying to take right back up. Nope.
Get back down here. He's like, look, I was just trying to teach him a lesson. And Herman goes, lessons are taught in the school, not on top of it. Sometimes they are. The egg drop is a thing that happens with some places. I was never part of it, but it is a thing.
And then he was, they were like, well, what happened to plan A? He was like, well, we went to plan G.
Yeah. What's plan G? And he's like, here, I'll show you. And picks Herman up.
Yeah. The gags that they do, because they do several gags in this one of nice lifting gags. I thought they were pretty good, pretty well done. Very, they look like they were being done still from the 60s, which says a lot for the 60s then when they did it, that the 80s were doing it almost exactly the same style. So unless they did that purposely.
Yeah. Naturally as parents, they now go to the lab to confront Grandpa.
Yep. And we get this awesome shot before we get down there. The lab/basement window that we get from the side.
Oh, from the outside, yeah.
From the outside
transition.
Dude, I am loving the miniature usage for the exterior shots here, because we're seeing more than just the front of the house, Like when we had the set, the actual thing on the back lot, it was always the front of the house. The miniature, I feel, gives them more range to do other angles, other parts of the house and stuff, which is really cool. I am interested to see what they do moving forward, if they ever do anything outside of the house with the house in the background, if they do have it matted in or anything like that in the background. So
I have a
interesting
feeling
to
if we
see.
get anything, it's going to be in the backyard since there's been so few footage of that.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll see.
so, Grandpa's like, how do you know it was me? He could have got that strength from anyone.
Yeah. And they're like, well, can we do anything? Like, how can we get rid of it? How can we? It's like, well, there's no antidote for this. They're like, it wears off in a week. And they're like, well, what can we do? And he's like, well, hire him out as a piano mover.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we go.
they start getting into an argument with him, saying we can't keep letting Eddie do the easy way. He has to
Mhm.
learn how to do this stuff on his own because we're not going to be here forever. And
Yeah.
Grandpa takes offense to this, saying, "Hey, I'm on a roll age wise."
Yeah. He's like, speak for yourself. I'm on a roll, man.
Yeah,
For
which
my
is
age.
something I want to give credit to you. You do a lot to help teach your kids how to, do simple things that they can, will use growing up.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So that's they're being extremely good parents right now.
Yeah.
So
they're being not just good parents, but they're being a good team because they're both on the same side on this one.
yes.
Whereas before they were on the opposite side with the 60s version of the thing.
Yep,
but also,
resulted in Herman getting the stuffing knocked out of him.
Yeah. Herman was also being picked on too. So
yes, he was. Who then became his good friend at work. So
yeah,
things can change with people.
That's a guy thing. We beat each other up and we become best friends.
As some Australians I follow say, they punch for a bit and then they mates.
Yeah. The mates. He said mates, everybody, not mate.
Sometimes they mate. You never know. There has been studies linking aggression to buried desires inside of people. So
no, let's not go down that route because then people are gonna be like, well, he must love me. He hit me. Don't start that
let's
shit.
not go down that road. No.
Okay.
No,
Moving forward.
Yeah,
let's go to this young kid beating people up.
So they go back upstairs and Eddie's doing jumping jacks with cinder blocks.
Yes.
Lily demands to know what he's doing. And he's like, I'm practicing for weightlifting. I'm stumbling over my words today.
It's funny too because he drops them. And I mean, you could tell they were like the styrofoam ones you see all over freaking like TikTok and all that crap nowadays. Everybody has them nowadays, but they were the styrofoam ones. And I was just like, they couldn't like do a gag because you see one of them hit the ground. I was like, you could have dropped one and let it shatter.
Yeah.
Because when you drop those like that, they break. They don't stay solid.
Herman's like, no. I want you to stay in school. And Lily says he can't do this by cheating. And Eddie begins making fun of weightlifters. He turns on the competition on TV and he starts making fun of them. And then he smacks the coffee table, destroying it. Is this an allegory to steroids?
Bro, possibly. But he also, like, you skimmed right over it. The bunny ears are back on the TV.
Oh, yeah, and they're moving on their own.
They, like, move to adjust to this channel and stuff, or when they turn the power on or something, they adjusted and then they adjusted back.
Which, I mean, incredible invention, I'm guessing, from Grandpa, because trying to manually adjust those things suck.
Did Grandpa kill the Easter Bunny?
Yes.
That was a long ass pause for a yes. Lily, after that, I just have in my notes nice lift gags because then he picks up the couch.
Yes, he does.
Again.
Lily's like, hey, look, no, you got to get these thoughts out of your head. It's a long way away before you're going to be able to do this. And Lily's like, no. Look, here's a flyer for a competition next week. It's for $500. Herman's upset by this. And he's like, no, that's the first day of our vacation. Like, no one seems to want to remind him that his strength is only going to last for 1 week.
Yeah.
And he's like,
unless Grandpa keeps giving him more potion.
Yeah, which he doesn't do, I might add. We find that out later. So Eddie's like, look, if I get the prize money or prize winnings, I'm going to give it to you to use for our vacation. And Lily's like, no. We don't need the prize money. We have our own from the old fashioned way. And Herman then joins in by saying, they earned it.
He says it really weird, man. He's like, earned it. It's like they earned it.
That's the first time you've used it for this show. So Eddie turns away dejected, and they relent. They're like, all right, fine. You could do this one time. And this is when he lifts the couch, saying he will make them proud.
Yeah. And they're smaller couches too. I wonder if they did like the forklift gag, or if they did like something a little safer on set, where they like had like mounts built into the arms of the couch and lifted it up like that, something like that. Yeah, maybe. Anyways, so then we jump ahead to the weightlift challenge. Also, by the way, Marilyn not in this episode at all.
No, she's not, is she?
No.
That's not probably for the best. Headlock would have been distracted.
Yeah, maybe they did it purposely so they wouldn't cheapen out on that.
Maybe, or if it was just she already had a vacation day.
She was out using her succubus powers on somebody else.
I can't believe how far that's spread already. Yeah, so Lily walks in and she starts freaking out at the size of the weights, and Eddie says nothing. Then she freaks out at the size of the men, and Eddie tells her, look, will you calm down?
Yeah.
All right, I got this.
And Herman's like, besides, haven't you ever heard the saying, the bigger they are, they still put on their pants one leg at a time? I'm like, what does that mean, Herman? What does that mean?
It's not wrong, but I guess.
What if they don't have legs?
Shorts.
What if they don't even have stubs?
Yeah, that's true. There is that wrestler.
Zach Gowen?
I don't know his name.
The one-legged wrestler?
No. The one with he's missing from the waist down. He's actual professional or not professional, like official wrestling, not
TV wrestling. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Not pro wrestling, but amateur wrestling. It's weird that they call like Olympic wrestling is considered amateur wrestling, and yet like the TV stuff
we
is
can
pro
probably
wrestling.
Thank the McMahons for that.
Interesting. Okay. Anyways.
So Grandpa pulls Eddie aside. He's like, look, you only got like 30 minutes left of this strength, so you might want to make use of it.
Yeah.
And Eddie's like, Eddie walks in wearing a trench coat, by the way. He takes it off. He's like, I got this. And the other guys begin laughing at him. And then he lifts the weights above his head and ties it into a knot, and their mouths just fall open.
Yeah. And it's the smallest one too, but it was funny. Do we have information on the two weight guys that were there, or just the one?
Just the one.
Just the one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there was two guys in the gym there, so
alongside with Headlock, but unfortunately, no.
How come Hillary Van Dyke and Howard Morton, Grandpa and Marilyn, don't have pictures for IMDb? It's interesting.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff,
but she is credited for this episode, but I don't remember her being in this episode at all.
She might be in the end.
If she did, she didn't even talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, moving forward with the episode.
Another thing I noticed, there is Munsters Today pages on the fandom, but they have absolutely nothing on them. So if any of our listeners want to go and fill them in, you are doing the community a favor.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking of setting up a specific Munsters Today information page too on our website, guys. So if you have information in regards to any of the Munsters Today stuff that we don't know yet, because again, I'm not going to put anything in there that I haven't watched yet. So
Yeah.
if you guys want to give us some information, email it to us at themunstercast@outlook.com so we can put it in there.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on with this episode.
Yeah. Let's see. No, Grandpa wishes he could get his hands on Butch for starting all this strongman stuff to begin with. Herman and Lily turn to look at him in unison with the sound effect of a creaking door. And Grandpa relents, like, okay, I may have had a role in it too. Then in walks Butch and Headlock. Eddie says, "Hey, wimp," and laughs evilly. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, is this an evil laugh? Butch hides behind his brother, and Eddie can't wait to make Headlock look weak. Herman asks if that's what Butch said to you before he beat you up, and Eddie looks very taken aback by this.
Yeah. And then he walks off into, kind of like in a saddish way, walks
Yeah.
off into the locker room where
That we get a little
oh,
time lapse here because they're getting ready to do
do
the
we?
finals. It's down to
Yeah,
Headlock
yeah.
and Eddie.
Yeah.
And Butch is back there massaging his brother's shoulders, trying to loosen up the muscles.
Yeah. And that's where we get Eddie hears them talking, where Henderson's kind of like, is it Henderson, right? Henderson?
Headlock Henderson, yeah.
Yeah. Headlock is like worried because he's like, man, I've trained my whole life for this. I really want to win. I've worked so hard. And earlier in the episode, we got the thing about where Herman and Lily were saying, we worked for everything that we got. We worked hard for it. Herman worked his way up from the mailroom in the mortuary to being where he is at the parlor. Yeah. So it's a working class type attitude, like you gotta work for what you get, kind of thing, for the episode.
There's no cheating shortcuts that
right. Yeah. So Eddie overhears him saying that about how he's just been working his whole life for this, and if he loses, that he's just gonna get so depressed, he's gonna be put back. Everything he's worked for is nothing at that point.
What have I wasted my life on here?
Yeah. So then Eddie walks over as they're walking out and shakes his hand and says, hey, good luck, may the best man win, or whatnot, and stuff like that. So
yeah,
then we go out to the thing, and he let this go on longer than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, the Headlock is up first, and he lifts the bars above his head, drops them. It's Eddie's turn. Eddie lifts him up. No problem. Whatever. He gives him the Headlock, causing him to drop them immediately. And I'm like, okay, what is going on here, Eddie? That's just a dick move.
Right.
It's Headlocks.
It was confusing because of,
I think
what
they're
we
trying
just
to make
saw.
us think, even though we just saw that emotional enlightenment on Eddie, they're like, is he going to do it, or is he just going to be, a jerk about it? Because then we get the second one where they're lifting the heavier weights.
Well, before we get too far, real quick, go back to the locker room where he overhears that. What did you think about the music cue that they put over that? The like enlightenment, sad, like hallmarky music cue that they did.
It's very 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it sets the tone really well.
Okay. Yeah, I thought so too. I was like, man, they're really like it felt like it was really dramatized more than what the scene was showing me. The music was dramatizing it a lot more, and I was like, I was confused a little bit. So, yeah. Anyways, moving forward.
So we go to the second round. Headlock lifts up the even heavier weight, throws it down. It's Eddie's turn. He goes up to it. He just can't do it. His strength has finally failed him. Headlock wins. The family rushes to Eddie. He's like, don't feel bad. You gave it your all. Herman says it's not about whether you win or lose. It's about being a nice guy who finishes last.
Yeah.
And Grandpa says, what the hell? You still got 18 minutes to go. Which means this whole competition took 12 minutes. Headlock comes over. He congratulates him on getting this far. Herman says, Herman says to Eddie, he's like, hand me that weight. And Eddie picks it up without thinking. And he's like, oh, he panics and throws it back down before someone sees. And Herman's like, now, why did you throw the competition? So Herman caught on that Eddie, as dumb as that, Herman can be sometimes, he knows his son.
Especially this Herman seems a little dumber. No offense, but he does. So it'd be interesting to see when we get like a full Herman episode, because we haven't had one yet. We've had Marilyn, Grandpa, Eddie. So
and he's like, I feel I didn't deserve to win by cheating over someone who worked so hard to earn it. And Herman is so proud of him in this moment that he goes to shake his hand and Eddie nearly crushes it. Grandpa is back to looking mildly annoyed during this whole exchange. By the way, he's got like a distant look in his face, not reacting to anything.
Because he's just dumbfounded, I think, by the whole thing.
Yeah,
he's just like, I just don't even know.
So now we're back at home. Herman and Grandpa are sitting in the living room, and Lily brings some magazines over to start thinking about vacation next year because Eddie threw theirs down the toilet this year.
Yeah.
Eddie comes running in, and Herman's like, "Is Butch picking on you again?" Eddie's like, "No." Lily turns to him around, and they see a black eye. What's the bully's name this time? Ellen. Herman and Grandpa just look at each other bewildered.
They're like, we can't say anything. We can't do anything. Which wasn't that the case in the other show where he was being picked on by a girl too?
Yeah, I think
at the end,
one of the episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's
so
hard
Lily
to remember because so many sitcoms do that where the boy is being picked on by a girl and they get dad's just like, well, never mind. Or you hit a girl. I didn't tell you to hit the girl. You get that a lot in sitcoms. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode then.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this before I go into my other thing I had for this?
This was I keep asking for stuff and the show keeps delivering. I wanted a Marilyn episode or a Grandpa episode. We got a Grandpa. I wanted an Eddie. We got an Eddie. So
yeah,
next week, can we, I would love to have an episode takes majority outside the house because we're only 3 episodes in and I'm kind of sick of it already.
Inside the house.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's sitcom style, you're in the house most of the time in a lot of sitcoms. So
I know. I know we were inside the house a lot for the original show, but towards the end we started getting parks and everything else, and it was nice.
I think it wasn't until like well, I guess in the 80s they started doing multiple sets everywhere. Back, the Munsters in the 60s had it a little easier because they were on a back lot already that had the sets already built. They could just go like, oh, we're gonna go over to this road today and shoot right here. So let's do that real quick. With this one, I'm interested to see if they do like a full on set for like the parlor for Herman and stuff, so we get a full on thing and everything, caskets and all that fun stuff there. Do we get to see like Goodberry and Graves like reborn, like their lineage and stuff that have taken over?
Get a shot of Herman at work. We got a couple of those in season 2.
Yeah. But well, in season 1 of the original show, we had Herman like answering the phone with flowers around him because they left it ambiguous of like what does he do, man?
Yeah.
So what? No, like I enjoyed this episode. So yeah, I liked it. I can't we're only on episode 3 and I'm like, give me more. I'm ready for it, man. Just give me more of this stuff here. You got anything to add on this one before? I know you got your one thing to do, but I was going to do one thing before you did that. So
go ahead.
Anything else to add?
Go for it.
Okay. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about, I think it was episode 1 that we talked, and I brought up Seymour Asses about having like a guy or a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of like act in the way of that from Futurama. For people who don't know, Seymour Estes was a dog. He was waiting for Fry to show up, and he never showed up because he was
It's the saddest
frozen.
moment in cartoon history.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the saddest moment. You cry every time you watch it, especially if you're a pet lover. So, and then last week we talked about Igor. Well, Igor rhymes with Seymour. So maybe that is Seymour's
Why are you
story.
continuing this?
So maybe Igor is the one who was waiting around forever for 20 some years, hoping Grandpa would show back up. And at year 21, 1 year before Grandpa gets out of the freezer, Igor passes away. So sad. So sad. Rest in peace,
Or
Igor.
he turned back into a person, and this is based on the TV, the Rob Zombie flick, and he goes back to Transylvania.
He's dead. Igor's dead. He died from missing his owner, just like Seymour.
Why do you want to end the show on a note like that?
I am interested to see if we do get an Igor or not later down the road, though, for this show.
It is weird that they chose not to include him, but we got the damn Raven.
Yeah. Well, as we've seen in other adaptations, not just Rob Zombies, but the Raven was a mechanical thing in some of the other adaptations too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Just remember that, everybody. Igor died lonely and sad, waiting for Grandpa, and never showed back up.
No, that's not okay. So I'm gonna look at Hilary Van Dyke today because it's going to be a quick one.
Okay.
Like literally, her IMDb doesn't even list her birthday, so I got to go to Wikipedia for this. So she was born October 30th, 1970. So that would make her 18 in this show. So I would say, yeah, Marilyn is younger because she was definitely in her 20s in the original show.
Well, the actress was in her 30s.
Yeah, but the character.
Okay.
You could play younger.
Well,
and
yeah.
For God's sakes, we got 30-year-olds playing high school freshmen for how many years? Yeah. But so she began her career in TV advertisements, and she's only got 4 credits listed. She was a dancer in Deadly Addiction. She played Joan of Arc on Life Goes On and Joanne on What a Dummy. And then she landed the Marilyn role for Munsters Today, which was the last of her acting credits. And she is not related to Dick Van Dyke, by the way.
No. No.
So she has a short, but it was a good career because she was nominated for 3 Young Artist Awards for Best Young Actress, starring in an off primetime series, which is weird. And also Best Young Actress in a family syndicated show. She didn't win, sadly, but still to be nominated, that's again, I like this portrayal of Marilyn a lot. And I look forward to what they're going to do with her over the next 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah. I'm interested to see where we go with all the characters, dude. Like all of them. Especially because the dynamic between Eddie and Marilyn seems completely different in this show too. I'm interested to see where they take that. So. Yeah. Is that all you got on there?
Yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot of documented stuff.
Okay. Let's see here. Yeah, she's only got 4 things. Munsters Today was the last thing.
Dude, you got to get off IMDb to even learn half the stuff about her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Facebook page dedicated just to her. So if you guys go to Facebook, I don't know the exact URL, but it's you just Google her and I'm sure the Facebook page will show up. and there's some more pictures and stuff like that on there. So I don't know how well maintained it is, though. You know, sometimes people drop off on maintaining the sites that they start. So
Yeah, it is interesting to know that she's the same age as my mom.
52.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool. Oh, if you guys have if anyone out there has any more information, which I'm sure there's some listeners out there that have more information on her.
Or if Hillary, if you happen to find out about us,
Yeah.
we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear from
definitely.
anyone who worked on any Munster production ever, honestly.
Period. Even the comics.
Lighting guy, sound guy, whatever. Fucking contact us.
Oh, the first F-bomb, I think, for the day. Look at
Yeah.
that. Bad Tivis. All right. Well, is there anything else that you got for us today, dude?
No. I'm just looking forward to, again, the show is just, we're only 3 episodes in and I'm loving it.
Okay.
Yeah, this episode in particular, you know, yeah, it was kind of a recycled idea, but they took it in interesting directions, and it was a great kind of lesson episode, which is something that, you know, we said a lot of the original show was they had a lot of lesson episodes in there, especially early on.
Well, and that's where like the whole idea of the Munsters is like this spectacular, like super, you know, hyper alert awareness social justice family comes from, is because of all the PSAs they had within the first few episodes. People forget about some of the other shit that went on in the show. That I'm like, yeah. Do you remember what led up to that PSA though? Like, because yeah, there's a good message at the end, but the whole show went against that entire message. The whole
they were
episode,
the original show had so many controversial stuff that so far this one hasn't done. And I gotta say,
they haven't had a chance yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as of right now, as long as they can, like, I love the original show, love the cast and stuff, but if this one continues to give these quality bangers like this, it's gonna overtake that original show for me.
Okay, well, we'll see how it comes out, because it's awesome.
Yeah, we got a long road.
We like sitcoms, both me and you, anyways, and especially the 80s is like 80s and 90s is prime time for sitcom, man. It's you can't get past those. Maybe early 2000s had some good ones here and there, but I mean, once they start going to like that hand cam crap, I was just like out of it.
Oh, that's you go to the middle, dude. That show is great.
I don't know. I mean, I did like Parks and Rec, but I also don't count those Parks and Rec and The Office as sitcoms, as most people should or do. I should say.
I'd say they are.
You think so? All right.
Yeah.
We'll see. I've never watched The Office, so I never cared for it. I've seen
first
pieces
season
of
sucks.
it. Yeah. Anyways,
basically, when Chris Pratt joins, it's good.
Chris Pratt doesn't join The Office. That's Parks and Rec.
Oh, yeah. Well, same thing with The Office. The first season sucks.
All right, guys. So, well, this is a Munster show. We're not talking about any of that crap here. And if you want to hear about that, you can go to our other podcast and listen to it. It's called Operation Babel. We stream it usually on Fridays is when the episode comes out. We don't stream it. Sorry, no. We upload it, and they usually go out on Fridays when we do have episodes dropping and stuff. Usually it's every other week. So.
Yeah, the newest one is us discussing the DC announcements. So,
yeah, let's check those out over there and check out the backlog for that. There's 100 and some episodes of that one going still. So, and then you can find the video version if you want to watch a video version at the Myke Shrews YouTube channel. That's MYKE SHREWS YouTube channel. Yes, 151, I think.
Yeah.
And we have shorts and stuff like that from it as well. So check that out if you guys like what we're doing here and you want to hear us just talk about something else outside of the Munsters. Also, guys,
come back next week.
I am uploading the episodes for the Munsters Today to Discord on Mondays. So episode 3 has already been we uploaded that last Monday.
So you have time to watch it.
So when this episode drops, episode 4 will be uploaded to the Discord. So you guys have a week to watch them before you hear us talk about them the following Munster Monday. All right, Tivis, any final words, my man?
Yeah, come back next week as we talk Magnum cum Munster.
Magnum cum Munster. I'm not making the joke. Shut up.
This is just a really difficult one to say in general, because I want to say the actual, the word
like
that comes.
Laude?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's so unnatural. But yeah, come join us next week for this one.
Yeah, definitely check it out. Again, every Munster Monday, we drop our episodes at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody. And that is on YouTube and every audio streaming service that you can listen to podcasts on, hopefully. If we are not on a service that you yourself specifically enjoy, please let us know, because as far as I know, I have worked my butt off to get us on most streaming services out there. I think we're even on Prime, if I remember correctly. So Amazon and stuff like that. So definitely check us out, guys. Tell Alexa to play the MUNSTERcast episode 1 or 2 or whatever. Hopefully my Alexa didn't hear that and start playing it.
You just set off a bunch of people's stuff. Way to
go. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for checking out the MUNSTERcast, and we will catch you next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.